I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but sometimes the numbers just don't make sense when it comes to borrowing money. So for example, I talk all the time about my favorite type of funding for business owners, which is capital stacking. However, one of the biggest hangups and why some people just don't move forward is they're just hung up on the 9.9% success fee. It's paid on the back end after you receive the funding, but some people feel like those numbers just don't make sense. And then they tell me, I'm going to take out, I just want a traditional business term loan. That would make way more sense than paying that 9.9% success fee. So let's break down those numbers and see if it really does make sense. So just to keep the playing field even, in all these examples, I am going to be talking about taking out a $150,000 loan. So let's talk about first a 5-year term loan. Borrowing $150,000, your monthly payment is going to be roughly $3,113. And in those 5 years, you are going to end up paying nearly $37,000 in interest alone. And in case I forgot to mention it, we are going to be calculating these numbers based upon an average interest rate right now of about 9%. And because borrowing money is never free, no matter what you're doing, there is a success fee on any type of term loan. Usually it's right around 5%, which in this case would equate to about $7,000. So then let's talk about a longer term loan. Everyone loves those. A 10-year term, which is absolutely possible. Definitely lowers your monthly payment. You'd be looking at about a $1,900 a month monthly payment. And in those 10 years, you are going to end up paying nearly $78,000 in interest alone. You're still going to have that roughly $7,000 success fee. And the thing to keep in mind with those term loans compared to capital stacking, with the term loans, you receive all that money at once. So you start paying on that from the beginning. However, with capital stacking, you are determining what your payment is. You are determining the amount of debt you have. So let's say perhaps with capital stacking, you end up getting $200,000 in capital stacking, which is business credit. You certainly don't have to spend that all at once. Let's say you only spend $20,000 initially. You're only going to be paying on that much money. But let's say you do spend the entire $150,000, just to keep it even with the other term loans there. Your minimum monthly payment on $150,000 is going to be roughly $1,500 a month. And as for interest, business credit with capital stacking comes at 0% for up to 2 years. So you will not be paying any interest. And everyone always says, well, what about after the 2 years? You don't close the business cards. Instead, after those 2 years, you're going to put in place a balance transfer strategy. Does it take a little bit of work? Absolutely. But that's how you can extend that 0% period for years longer and not pay that interest. And the success fee on that $150,000 with capital stacking is going to be roughly $9,900. Now, I'm no mathematician, but which one of those 3 options makes the most sense? Which one is going to be the most cost effective? So for those of you that have argued and not gone forward with capital stacking because of that fee, maybe seeing these numbers in a different light will help you make that decision. Additionally, one of the benefits of capital stacking versus taking out a term loan, you're actually helping yourself build business credit. So that initial $150,000 that you borrowed could very quickly grow into several $100,000 just by using it effectively. Unfortunately, a term loan doesn't quite have those same benefits. If you'd like to see more videos like this, comparing different funding options and seeing what's best for you, be sure to follow my account.